Welcome back to Games Overboard. Brian's out with the stomach flu and herpes this week, but I'm TJ.
And I'm Michelle, and we're going to introduce to you the expansion for the original Shadows Over Camelot game.
Which is one of our favorite games.
Merlin's Company.
It's called Merlin's Company, and the original game is for 3 to 7 players. You can now play from 3 to 8 players with this game. It'll still probably take about 60 to 90 minutes, and it's still for ages 10 and over.
We're going to explain this expansion, assuming you already know how to play the original Shadows Over Camelot game, and we're going to use about half the board to explain it to you.
Let's see what comes in the new box. Here we go! We got a new dice, a couple new figures, some new knight cards, and a variety of new other cards.
So the first thing we'll explain to you is the new knights that they added. Days of Wonder provided for you this time the original Orange Knight, Sir Bedivere. Before you could only get them online, so Days of Wonder provided him for you this time. They also replaced all the old knights with new knights, same colors, used the same figures, except they did not replace King Arthur, because he is the king, after all.
The king!
Each new knight has a brand new special power as well.
Now, it also comes with a brand new loyalty deck. And it doesn't get shuffled in with your old loyalty deck. You could do that, I suppose, if you want, but it comes with 2 trader cards now instead of just 1. So in 7 or 8 player games, they recommend you can play with up to 2 traders.
And it's with the new knights as well. You can choose to use them. You can intermix them with the old ones if you want to, or you can decide just to play with the new ones. It's up to you.
It's up to you. Now, the biggest addition to the game is this new travel deck here. There's several different cards in the travel deck, and what happens is when you try to move to a new quest or move back to Camelot from a quest, you have to draw a card from the travel deck first. So what would happen is I would declare my move first. So let's say I'm the Green Knight here. I'm declaring I'm going to move to Excalibur. I first have to draw this card from the travel deck and resolve the conflicts before I can actually move. This one says Merlin Travels. Now this is another big addition to the game. The Merlin figure that they give you, when you get this Merlin Travels card, moves with you to the quest you're going to, even if it's a solo quest.
And Merlin can travel with you even on a single solo quest because
Right.
He's not a knight.
He's not actually a knight, he's just an additional figure. Now, why you want to have Merlin there? If you're on the same quest as Merlin during your turn, you can draw a white card for free. It doesn't count as an action.
So you'll never run out of cards.
Also, if Merlin is present on a quest that's already been ended, and he stays wherever he is. He doesn't go with the knights if they return to Camelot, so he stays until something else happens to him. If he's present on a quest that's already done, that quest nothing bad can happen to it. So if we draw an Excalibur and Merlin is already there, the Excalibur doesn't affect.
Alright, let's talk about the new cards that they added to the deck. So, along with the travel deck, they also added new white and black cards to the deck. I'll talk about the white cards first. Sometimes people are concerned that you'll be able to tell which cards are new as opposed to which cards are old. Some people have recommended covering them with little plastic holders, card protectors. But I don't really find it's a problem, and the reason is because also with the new cards they've also added the cards from the old deck. So for example, they've added fight cards, they've added grail cards, they've added cards from the old deck, so you won't know necessarily that when someone draws a newer looking card that it's necessarily a new special card or anything like that. So along with the new deck comes, my favorite fight card is they have a new question mark fight card. So if you're playing on the Saxon or Pict quest, for example, and you're laying and you need a 5, you would say this fight card has a question mark, so I'm laying a 5 down.
It's like wild.
It's like a wild fight card, which is really cool. My favorite special card that they added is called Truce. It allows when you play Truce, you can either take all the Saxons or all the Picts off of the quest, as well as, for example, if you had laid a Mordred down to add an extra 5, that will also be removed from the quest as well.
Awesome. They also included some new special black cards. Boo. The new special black cards are all Morgan's 7 witches. There's 7 of them, and they all do a different thing. They're all bad. Probably one of the worst ones says add a Pict and a Saxon figure to their respective quests, so it's like a double bad. But there's also some other crazy stuff that goes on there that you don't like. Unless you're the trader. In that case, you do like it.
There is a special black card that says reshuffle all decks. This does not include the travel deck. The only way you would reshuffle the travel deck is if you run out of cards. The directions say that in the unlikely event that you run out of the travel deck, reshuffle the cards. But every time I've played this game, we run out of travel cards, so it's going to be pretty likely that you're going to reshuffle. Also, if, for example, let's say Excalibur was done, and you drew an Excalibur card, you placed the Siege Engine into the middle of the card. Now, with this new version, you would discard the Excalibur card instead of putting it in the discard deck. Did I forget anything?
That's about it.
All right.
So the game sells for about $30, and once again, you do have to have the original Shadows Over Camelot game in order to play this. You can get it's now available in the U.S. You can get it at your local game store. Days of Wonder also has it online, and go check it out because it's really something that any hardcore Shadows Over Camelot fan doesn't want to be without.
Like, you know, the game itself doesn't have a lot of pieces, but if you're really into the game, it's definitely worth the money, and I would recommend it to anyone who's hardcore like we are.
See ya.
Bye.